purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So if the purpose of marriage is for two people to become one flesh, and that what they are doing now together for the kingdom can become multiplied, the things that they can accomplish elevates to another level, I was wondering, what is the purpose of dating? What is the purpose of being in a relationship with a woman? That question came to mind as I'm seriously talking to a girl, and we're texting, we're hanging out. But I was like, what are we even doing this for? Hey, yo, what's poppin', Papa? My name is Mickler, and I am on a journey of just documenting what it is like going from single to married while honoring God in the process. And today's topic of discussion is, what is the purpose of being in a relationship with a woman? What is the purpose of dating? What I believe it is for the two individuals to assess compatibility with one another. The things that you're looking for or assessing is, one, personality, temperament of the other person, and maybe even the vibe. But the vibe, I feel, is like surface level, maybe even a little superficial, because the vibe can change over time. You guys are seeing how well you guys mesh together. Can you guys laugh and have a good time? And seeing really how that person is. When I say temperament, it's almost like how they deal with certain situations. And I know how they grew up, the people they surround themselves with, even how they see God or the church that they attend. All those things play a role in this. The two people are trying to assess and see if it's a fit with one another. The second thing that I believe that people are assessing is the ability to sharpen one another. And the Bible verse talks about how iron sharpens iron. And people use it all the time when people have a good conversation with each other and they're like, wow, I got a revelation from this, and dang, bro, that was a good perspective. Which is true, and I think it's awesome that that happens when we come together, sharing, breaking bread with one another. And this can happen in a romantic relationship, or the relationship that you are building with this other person that who could be your future spouse. But if you take the picture of what iron sharpening iron looks like, it's iron getting hit very, very hard by a hammer. And that is a lot of pressure. And if we were that iron, that would be very unpleasant. But the byproduct of it is, a beautiful sword, for example. I don't even know. Is that what iron makes? Is that even what the analogy means? I'm not sure. Y'all need to check me up on that. But with that, I believe in the dating relationship, that's what you are doing too. After the honeymoon phase happens, after, things kind of wear off between the initial attraction and the initial vibe that happens where things are looking really well, conversations are going to happen, or personality traits are going to come up that don't necessarily align with yours, or maybe weren't expecting them to act a certain way, or you weren't expecting them to think a certain way. So I believe in this time that you are dating someone and figuring it out, that this is very important to be happening, where on one hand you can get support and encouragement from that individual. They can be praying for you, and all that can feel good. You guys can share knowledge with one another, different revelations that you're getting from the Lord. But on the other hand, things that you did not foresee initially come up, and then now you're going to have to assess, like, again, the compatibility component of it, where you're going to ask yourself, can I be with this person? Are we able to, one, regulate our emotions? Because we're going to get annoyed at each other. We're going to get mad. We're going to get upset at each other. But in that, are we going to be able to still respect one another, still be kind to each other, and communicate? Are we going to be able to express our feelings to one another? Are we going to say, like, hey, when you said this, I felt this way? Or when you did that, I got offended because I felt blank, disrespected. Our two adults going to be able to have these conversations with one another where you're confronting each other on these things? Where again, one, you're sharpening each other, making each other better because you are encouraging them and supporting them. But on the other side, you are making them better because you are helping refine them or helping them see quirks in their personality, in their temperament, in their vibe that maybe you don't sit well with. And then you guys go on and move from there. So in that, can you guys hang? Pretty much. If some of these tips, ideas, or just even my vulnerability has been helpful, like this video. It would be greatly appreciated because it will get out to more people who are on a dating journey and just want to see how it's going down. And the last aspect of assessing accountability is being fruitful and multiplying. So after you've sharpened one another and really seen the other person's personality, their temperament, their character, their vibe, with that, you see their true colors. Now, are you able to see your life with them being fruitful and multiplying God's kingdom and having an impact for the Lord? Because the man should really be about his calling, his mission, his purpose that God has given him, and he's working towards that. And the wife can come help alongside him, not behind him, not under him, not above him, but beside him, as she is the rib, right? Come alongside him and encourage him and support him when things get difficult, because it's going to get hard. And with that, as they're both moving forward, that they will have a greater impact and the things will multiply with what they're doing. As they're impacting more people, as they're building the family and growing that as well. Do you see yourself having kids with this person? Do you see yourself being a father and seeing them as the mother and them raising the kids well? I think that is also a part of assessing compatibility during this stage. So these are just my thoughts off the cuff, and I don't really know if that is the exact reason for dating or the exact reason to be in a relationship with a woman. So I'm always learning and trying to grow. I end up buying this book called Single, Dating, Engaged, Married, Navigating Life and Love in the Modern Age. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this, seeing like what is the purpose and the reason for each stage, and really assessing, am I stewarding these stages well? So again, these are just my ideas off the cuff, but with that, I do have a confession. These are my confessions. Like Usher. Watch this. So the girl that I've been dating, we met on Upward, the Christian dating app. Actually, let me take that back. I saw her on Upward, the Christian dating app, and then instead of waiting to match, I just DM'd her on Instagram. The rest is history, right? We connected and all that stuff. A week or two in, she mentioned like, hey, I deleted the app. And I felt that was very endearing for me. But that almost also triggered me, because I remember the last girl that I dated, I was the first one to delete the app. And let's just say it bit me in the butt. It didn't really work out. So I was kind of reluctant to do it. And we were hanging out. She saw a notification from the app, and she ended up bringing it up the next day or so. And if I was the one telling her, hey, like, we're exclusive, then why am I not following up with the action of deleting the app? So I did, and yeah, we continued to talk and develop the relationship. But last night, I ended up thinking about this, like, what is the reason why I'm talking to this girl right now? Do I even see myself being in a relationship and escalating that to get married with her? And I think it's normal to like ask that and experience it, but acting on it is different. So what was crossing my mind was, maybe I shouldn't be with this girl and I should be with someone else, or what else is out there for me? So I ended up downloading the app again, and I saw that I had a couple new matches since the last time I went on there. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, if things don't work out between this girl, then I could just hit these girls up. And then I got convicted because I was like, oh man, like, no, again, like, it's exclusive between me and her. So I just like closed my phone, did my night routine, went to sleep. Next day, which is today, me and her are talking per usual, and the last conversation we had was on the phone not too long ago. Pretty much she was just saying like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna work out. So I was like, interesting. Tell me more. Can you expand on that, please? And when this conversation has gone up in the past, I was very saddened by it, and why do we keep going back and forth? But I was almost like, okay, I was feeling the same way too last night. I asked her to try to communicate to me, like, what is she feeling and what does she mean by that? And pretty much it was, she felt that on a doctrine level, we kind of are in different places. Maybe we don't align in our beliefs and values when it comes to certain things with the Bible and how we see it and God and church and other things. But then she also said, yeah, I just see you as a friend.
You got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. Say I'm just a friend.
And I was like, hold up. You were saying that we should just be friends in order to assess and move forward, figure out if we even want to be together. I agreed with that, but then we had the exclusivity in there. But then when she said it this way, like, oh, I only see you as a friend, it was like, that's weird. Isn't that what you wanted in the first place? But now that you see me just as a friend, it's like, oh, let's stop the dating. So it's just kind of weird. And I think I want to make another video about this because guys in general, we don't want to be in the friend zone because women don't see us like that anymore. But then my perspective shifted and I was like, well, actually, friendship should be the basis of a healthy marriage. People who are married couples, they say, oh, I married my best friend, and they have a really good relationship with one another. But with her saying it in that way, is being a friend the place that we should be? Or it's like, no, there should still be that attraction, that romantic side, maybe that mystery, that kind of like, oh yeah, okay, this guy, I'm intrigued by him, or this girl, I'm intrigued by her, but it's not like how you treat all your other friends. And then as you move forward and develop the relationship, and you go through those different stages of being single, dating, getting engaged, and then getting married, you end up finding out, wow, like, this person is amazing, and she really is my best friend. Like, does that come after the fact, not before, where you're building the foundation? I don't know. I'm just curious, and I'm wondering. But, I think it's good. I think we're good where we're at. And yeah, I appreciate her for what we had, because I learned a lot about her, but I really learned a lot about myself, about God, and this is actually pushing me more to dive into the subject and learn, because maybe I don't have an idea for the reason of dating, like what is the real purpose of this, and having a grasp for that. Like, also, like, what am I looking for in a godly woman? For me, like, am I even a godly man? I'm not sure.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But I think timing-wise, this works out really well, because even with this YouTube channel, just figuring out, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to document it. But I was like, oh, man, is it going to be quick where I'm dating this girl and now I'm going to get engaged soon and then we're going to get married? Then it's like, oh, man, I don't have, like, enough content anymore. But, yeah, maybe I will have a lot of content now. So the ups and downs of this journey, man. It's really cool, though, because what I read in a devotional recently was, if Joseph knew beforehand that he would go through all of the stuff that he did, such as being sold into slavery by his brothers, getting betrayed by them, becoming a slave, working in the palace, working his way up, and then with his the wife of his higher up accusing him of trying to be with her when it was really her, and then now him going to prison, and then him after that having to interpret dreams, and then he gets, promoted, like going through all of that journey. If Joseph knew beforehand, would he have been down to do it? I don't know. I mean, shoot. If I knew all that, dang, like, it would be so hard. But I guess that's the beauty of being on a journey, right? Like, we don't know what's going to happen, what's going to happen next, what we're going to be experiencing. But we can trust the Lord that he's working all things together for our good because we love him and we are going after what purpose he has on this earth. And in that, we can take joy in all of the trials because in that, we are being made perfect, more and more like him. And yeah, when we are in our lows, like a lot of us will reach out to God even more so and get close to him. When we are in our highs, we are too. But there's something about being in the pit, like having to cling to the Lord because like really there's no other option. Man, I'm actually super encouraged and can't wait for how this journey will pan out. I don't know how it's going to look like, but yeah, I really don't want to know. I'm just going to go through it and God willing, by his grace and by his spirit, just continue to persevere. So I encourage you, my brother, to stay the course because it will all be worth it. And I'm telling you, but really, I'm speaking and preaching to myself. So until the next one, peace and love, y'all.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of